Bop, 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 bop. All right, let's go, guys. Welcome back to another Thursday edition of Crypto Connoisseurs. Guys, it feels like forever. It feels like forever since I've been here, and I missed you all. And I'm glad that you can be here tonight, or today, or this afternoon, wherever you are. I'm glad that you guys are here. We got some really exciting stuff for you today. We're going to be giving away some whitelist spots on another NFT project. This is actually coming from one of my friends who's an incredibly talented artist. These things are going to blow you away. The amount of work this guy's been putting into it is absolutely insane. And actually, what we should do too, so this is a Galactic Fight League. Just give you an example of kind of what we'll talk a little bit more, not too much about it. Just want you to see how sick the artwork is, and the fact that we're going to give away to some people watching this tonight or today or this afternoon, wherever you are. And maybe we have the co-founders of Cryptoland coming on the show tonight too. Maybe we can convince them to whitelist some of you guys as well. I didn't ask ahead of time. I'm just making assumptions here. So we'll see if we can get that to happen. But anyway, let's dive into it, guys. So on the show tonight, we do have Hashoshi, Brett from the Brettway, and Max and Helena from Cryptoland. And we also have a guest from the Crypto Connoisseurs crypto cases, that this big giveaway that we're doing from Polytrade. So we'll give him a few minutes tonight to talk about the project, because we are so grateful for everybody who is contributing to this big play to earn charity. And some of that is going back to you guys, the community. I think right now the value of that crypto case is around $1.23 million. And we have like 5 or 6 new smoking hot gaming and guilds projects that are coming onto this list as well, with nice, healthy private sale allocations for us. So we do expect this to skyrocket up. And again, this is going in perpetuity. So we do expect this value to close, hopefully $10, $20 million by the end of the year. And yes, a lot of that's going back to you. And yes, a lot of that is going to families in need all around the world who we can get on play to earn games by buying them devices, getting them hooked up to Wi-Fi, teaching them how to play games like Axie, changing their lives forever. So before we bring on the guest, I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of the top news in the space. We got Bored Ape Yacht Club going absolutely bananas. It is absolutely crazy. We got guys like Post Malone. We got Timbaland talking about it. We got a new animated series called the Red Ape Family, which is actually based off Bored Apes as well. They just partnered with what is it? The ape billionaire, the billionaire party apes, or whatever it's called. But that should be cool. The first episode comes out on the 25th. Really excited about that. That's actually made by the same producer that produces Timbaland as part of the project. Or no, sorry, 2 Chainz is part of the project. So it should be really cool. I saw a trailer. Go check them out as well. The Red Ape Family animated series. You can actually be part of the series and mint yourself an NFT right now over there on their website. Pretty dope. Also, we got NFTs and meme coins advertising all over Times Square, London subways, all over the world. This is getting absolutely crazy mainstream. Like, if this isn't mainstream slapped in your face, I don't know what is, guys. This is proof in the pudding. We are headed north. But, one thing that I have learned from being in the NFT space for a while, you do have to realize, and I think everybody who's an influencer has told you, 99.5% of these NFT projects will go down to zero with zero liquidity. You will lose everything that you put into them. So do be careful. But these blue chips and these upcoming blue chips have proven their way into the mainstream adoption with, again, the Bored Ape Yacht Club and Mutant Ape Yacht Club being on the cover of Rolling Stone magazine. That is super awesome. Also in the news, we got Floki under investigation for its advertising model on the UK tram system. Maybe they're, I don't know, security or something like that. I have no idea what that's about, but we'll get into it. And then we're seeing the first generation of these social movement coins, right? Things like Good Morning and WAGME, or We're All Gonna Make It. And so it's like, it's kind of really about getting a social community together. I have no idea how they'll do. Maybe our guests have some more insight on that, but we will ask them when we bring them on. I already told you about crypto cases and the Galactic Fight League. We're going to give them away. I'll bring that on. The contest is basically going to be naming 2 guys. This is one of them. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay, so that's one, and then this is another guy. So basically, the way the giveaway is going to work is you just have to give the best name for these 2 guys. Bring them on one more time for us. This guy So red hair guy, just put like red hair. His name is X. And what is his hat? A sombrero hat? His name is Y, whatever the case may be. Give them names. My good friend Sean, who's founding the project, is going to pick the winners from the comments below and put you guys on the whitelist. Epic art. All right. And there's a whole cool storyline behind it too. The whole trailer and all that stuff. Do we have that or no? Okay, never mind. Let's get into it. So, all right, let's bring them on. We got Hashoshi. What's up, brother? You're muted.
Yo, how's it going? Living the dream, man. Thanks for having me.
Good. And then we got let's bring on Max and Helena from Cryptoland.
Hello. Here we are.
Hello. And finally, we'll bring on Brett from the Brett Way. What's happening, brother? Good to see you again.
What's going on? Feels like it's been an eternity.
It's been an eternity, man. I went to Dubai, started speaking at conferences. If you guys watch my, any of my channels, there's a video I think we just posted about on stage talking about our fund, and I was just struggling to get through that. Got COVID, had to go to the hospital, spent like 5 days there. But I lost a good amount of weight, so I'm happy. It was like, the easiest way to diet ever. So that was fun. Anyway, so with that being said, let's dive into it, guys. It's been a while since we had on the show. So whoever is tuning in on Thursdays, they wants to hear like the latest and greatest. What is trending today? What are you guys looking at?
Right now, I'm looking at Meta Travelers. It's like a 3D generative model project where you actually get an VR in Metaverse usable 3D model with your NFT. I think that's pretty innovative. It's one of the better products we've seen out there and something I'm excited about. I mean, there are no network. Star Atlas have been really popping off. Same with Treeverse. So a lot of Metaverse projects are really excited right now.
Yeah, and
Do you think that's go ahead, Hashoshi. I was just going to ask if you think that like buying a spaceship in Star Atlas, for example, like when do we start to see returns on that? Is that 7 years from now when Michael says the game will be live? Or do we get to see some type of like returns or guilds or something using that before that 7 years?
I mean, they're definitely going to ease into it, but I do not think 3 years would even be. That's still an aggressive timeline for what their ambition is. Their renders are so high quality, but I mean, if they are selling this vision and they do live up to it, it could be one of the biggest plays like in our lifetime. So there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, I guess it would be the equivalent of like buying some really valuable assets in Ready Player One or something like that, right? Where everyone's just, I mean, that's exactly what the vision is.
I think that's the bet you're making. Yeah. That's a big bet, but hey, why not? People are already spending millions. It's absolutely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
Wow. Hashoshi, what about you, brother?
Yeah, I mean, right now, I think I'm really interested in all the stuff that's unfolding in the Polkadot ecosystem, because I think that if you look at even the trajectory of what Cosmos has accomplished in that space, in interoperability and really bringing stuff to fruition, you obviously have projects like Terra. Everyone's, a big fan of Luna, right? I think the Polkadot ecosystem is next in that space to really just see the vision coming together. And there are tons of good projects, whether they become parachains in the short term or not, that are building really important primitives for that ecosystem in general. So I'm really excited about that area.
Yeah, I think like one thing I just want to drive home for people that don't quite understand exactly what the Polkadot narrative is, where every other blockchain is a layer one. So we're talking about Solana, Cardano, Terra, Avalanche, Ethereum, BSC. These are all layer ones, right? So they are isolated, independent blockchains with their own validators, their own consensus mechanisms, their own transaction layer. Like they're all layer ones. And so for them to interoperate or connect with other blockchains is clunky. It's clunky. Like even layer twos are clunky. Have you guys tried to use like Polygon for like minting an NFT or even buying one on OpenSea? My God, even for somebody who's been in crypto for 10 years, that experience was just a nightmare trying to use it. So like what Polkadot is, for you guys that don't know, is it's a layer zero. And it's just like infrastructure for connecting the entire, it's basically if you put like 100 major cities around, and then you built the highways that connected those with just straight roads with no like crazy toll bridges where you might have to wait for the boat to cross underneath it or just stop and pay money where someone could rob you at that point or whatever. It makes interoperability native on that layer one, so you don't have to use vulnerable bridges, right? Who was that got hacked for that $620 million or whatever hack earlier in the year? remember who that was?
It was a poly project. I don't want to say the wrong name and get someone in trouble, but the reality is in 2021, in 2022, maybe even a little bit beyond that, bridge hacks are the new thing, right? Like, I don't think people realize that bridges are one of the most complex and tricky areas to make, provably secure. Nothing is 100% secure, let's be real. But it's really difficult for people like you or me to predict bridge hacks and to find those vulnerabilities because there's so many moving parts across different chains. And so I think native interoperability is a necessary thing for the longevity of this space and for mass adoption.
I really don't think the mainstream is going to care what chain it's on, as long as interoperability, like that's the most important factor in my opinion. As long as it's a seamless transaction and they all communicate, I think that's where we want to be.
Yeah,
Polkadot can make it happen.
By the way, guys, educate me a little bit on that. But is the Lightning Network not interoperable with other chains? Because that's what I first. I know it's a second layer solution for Bitcoin, but somehow I heard that. Maybe I'm confusing this with atomic swaps, because atomic swaps was supposed to work with all types of chains, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I believe, and maybe Hashoshi or Brett, you guys might know more about this than me, but I believe Taproot is supposed to enable for Bitcoin is supposed to enable smart contracts. But the thing is that like it always seems a bit risky, centralized, and when you're going on second layer solutions, I think the key is to have all transactions being done on layer one. But just having like Gavin, who's the founder of Polkadot, thought about this long ahead of time, and he said like, no, we can't use layer twos. It doesn't make sense. It's not smooth. It doesn't make a good user. It's all about user experience, right? We all said that like crypto will be adopted one day when the masses are able to use blockchain without it feeling like blockchain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I mean on the topic of atomic swaps, right? It's a mechanism or a means to an end, right? An atomic swap is where you're moving from one sort of state management blockchain or one ledger of accounting to another, where the asset on one chain is being locked or burned or deducted, and it's being atomically added or minted on another destination chain. And there's so many different ways that it's being done. Finding a way to do so where you're not exposing people to significant counterparty risk or bridge risk, where their assets are locked up somewhere, that's really the key. And on the smart contracts topic, Kyle, I've been seeing that story going around all over the place that Taproot's enabling smart contracts on Bitcoin. And in a sense, you could say that that's true. Really, it's just augmenting the functionality that already existed before in Bitcoin script, which is sort of a mechanism to create conditional transaction signing rules. And so it's just expanding those things. And so it's not smart contracts in the same way it would be on Ethereum, but there's some pretty cool things you can do with it. So pretty exciting.
Yeah, I think for Bitcoin, let's just let there's too much value on Bitcoin to be messing around with it too much at this point. We just need to let that be sound money. And Lightning will be, we could all just use Lightning for transactions if we want to, or a centralized solution like our good friend Carl the Moon is building over there at Costa, where it's going to be like the fastest and cheapest layer 2 in the world, but it is centralized. But still, a lot of people don't seem to care about that if you don't mind having your crypto in custody. A lot of people are more comfortable with that because it's insured. So what Carl, the two Carls, are building over at Costa is going to be basically instant zero fee Bitcoin payments or transfers from one person to another, just using like your email or picture on your phone or phone number, whatever. So this is where I think Bitcoin's heading. But on this show, we don't talk too much about Bitcoin because even though in a world of innovation, it still doesn't get us those type of gains that we're looking for with the more risky altcoins, the crypto gaming, the NFTs, the degen kind of stuff that we like to get into. So Max and Helena, you guys are muted, so make sure you unmute yourself. But what do you guys? I know that you've been slammed. Tell us what you've been up to.
Well, you know what we've been up to. We're focused on Cryptoland full time, and it's almost embarrassing, guys, to me to be like not super updated with everything that is going on, because I used to be on top of everything going on in crypto, and that's what led to Cryptoland. But then we got absorbed with Cryptoland, and now I'm like, oh wait, just this new 10 projects just pop out, and I didn't have even the time to look at them. So
yeah, this project is so big that
yeah,
it takes all of our time.
Yeah, it's what we do actually is like we look at this at the crypto space, and we act as filters. We filter that, and we transform it into a themed something, whatever that gets implemented in crypto, and that's a little bit what it is. Of course, it needs to pass the test of time, but yeah. So that's what we're doing. We're working on building this crypto paradise that is going to be amazing, and it's we're at the very beginning. 7 days ago, no one knew what Cryptoland is because it was secret for 2.5 years. You knew about it, but most people didn't, and we're like growing from the ground up, like digging and building our community. Look, guys, yesterday we just had 1,000 on Discord, and now we have 3,000. So we almost tripled in less than 24 hours. So it's still small numbers, but it's growing exponentially. So
what I love about the Cryptolander NFT collection is, one, it's free to mint as long as you're whitelisted, and I know that once we get through the whitelist, it's going to be free to mint for public after that as well. But two, like is really, if you love crypto and you've been in it for a while, it's got just so much built into it, as far as the jokes, the memes, the culture. Every trait in this entire set has something that has to do with crypto in it, right? So like, there's so many references to everything.
Kyle, that's the part that I wish people took the time to dig a little bit deeper, because all the trades, they have they're crypto inspired. You know, for example, you just look at this one you have on the screen. Thanks, Mike. You can see it's a clown, but the name of that skin, if you go to OpenSea, look at your crypto under, look at the properties, you can see the name of every trade. This one here, the name of the skin is called Peter Schiff. So everything, it's just so fun. For example, it has it has the Charles Ponzi hat. So if you know who Charles Ponzi is, he was the creator of the Ponzi schemes. He used to wear this hat that he has here. So everything, for example, the eyes are the metaverse eyes, the mouth is the yield farmer. So and in the on his arm, it says peer-to-peer. So like every little thing you see there has a meaning, and we even had to create a master guide, just like a Bible, to run you through this and understand. So I encourage that everyone who has a Cryptolander, just go to OpenSea, look at the trades, and then go to our master guide and learn what they mean. It's like pure crypto culture.
I think that's
the
the number one thing that stood out to me after watching your guys' reveal video, was just like how witty and how like tapped into like NFT and crypto culture you were. And I mean, obviously there's such like a well-designed 3D animation, but on top of it, I think that really stuck out. Like the dialogue in the script was just very entertaining.
Yeah,
thank you,
man. Look, we started working on this way before NFTs were even a thing. You know, like this is you have to be an OG. You have to be an OG to understand all the jokes and everything. It's actually like a test. If you understand most of the jokes, you're doing good in crypto. You know,
made it. Let's go.
Let's throw out a quick video, and then we'll get on some other thoughts and topics in the subject and the crypto.
Sir, welcome to Cryptoland, the hodlers of last resort. Entering the Blockchain Hills.
Hey, what's that?
The Vladimir Club, Cryptolander's members-only club. We are preparing everything for tonight. We are throwing the most epic crypto party ever. I wonder who your plus one is going to be.
Yeah. So that, you guys, they made a really cool video. Go check it out on the Twitter. Just look at Cryptoland Cryptoland. .is is the website, and we'll figure out, guys. Think about Max and Helena, think about how you want to give away some whitelist spots tonight. Let's give away like 5 or 10 spots, but just tell me later. Guys, so are we, so Brett, Hashoshi, I'm gonna ask us, are we into a bear market now?
In crypto or NFTs? Because they're inversely related, we're seeing. Because we popped off out of nowhere with the mutants and the apes, thanks to Jimmy Fallon. Shout out to him. It seems like there's a little bit of depression in the air, but that has brought back a new life. So I'm hoping that crypto will stay flat for a little bit so I can have a little bit more degen fun in the NFT market. But I don't think we're anywhere close to a bear market. No way.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't think we're in bear market territory. I think right now, with a lot of the noise in the talk as we broke new all-time highs again in the last several weeks, I think everyone was like, okay, up only. Everyone's in that mood again. And then now we're pulling back. So there's just a lot of fear and concern. I feel like a lot of people bought what was, again, the local top. That's just cyclical. That happens every time. But I don't think we're done. I think there's more price discovery to be had, if not the end of this year, probably earlier in 2022. It really just depends on what school of thought you subscribe to, whether we're in the lengthening cycles or if you believe in the cycles or not. But I don't think we're done.
Max, Helena, you guys have any input on the whole market cycles? Because you've been in it for quite a while.
Yeah, well, are we talking just NFTs or the market in
The
general?
marketing.
I'm more asking about the crypto market, not NFTs.
Okay. Well, the way I approach it, guys, is actually very different. All that matters is just one line, and it's called adoption. Are more users every day in crypto? Yes or no? And it is. We're bringing millions of new people every week, like many millions every week. So this is just the truth that we need to follow. To be honest, if the market goes down 10%, I don't really care. It just makes our liquidity a little bit more complicated. But if you really are for that short period of time, looking, you're missing the big picture, and you're gonna miss the big gains actually. So to me, the space is growing exponentially, especially now. Like we can thank NFTs, just the enormous effort, the enormous reach out they've had.
The exposure.
Yeah, the exposure that gets to crypto, because it's the fun way to enter the space, and that's the way probably to approach the masses. So I think it's doing an enormous favor. Not everybody, of course, is gonna go through the different layers until you really understand crypto. Many will stay on the surface, but it's still it's bringing adoption into the market, and this is our adoption is going and going, and sooner or later things just the price action just reflects that, sooner or later. So I don't mind really. It can only go up, truly. Just wait a bit. It doesn't matter what happens.
Yeah, I really think NFTs are that catalyst for mainstream adoption. And we're seeing it right now. If you look at the Google Trends data, I know this Post Malone music video that you referenced is doing really well. We're the #1 trending search ever of all time for NFTs, how to buy NFTs on Google Trends. So that just kind of shows you where we're headed. And obviously that's going to benefit the crypto market. It's really interesting to see people buy Ethereum for the first time just to get NFTs. So obviously there's a relationship there.
Note to self: make video with clickbait called "How to Buy NFTs."
Exactly. You're thinking.
I think so. My opinion on the market is very much like a macro perspective. Much like Max and Helena were saying. In everyone, all your technical analysts, all your charters, the guys who draw lines on screens, they're trying to compare this market to 2017, and I just can't do it. I can't do it knowing what I know. You didn't have in 2017 institutions, countries, banks, governments, politicians, billionaires, millionaires. We hear this news every single day about all these guys I just listed adopting Bitcoin. You got politicians in Ukraine who have to come transparent if they're owning crypto, and they're saying, "Yep, I do own crypto." So every smart person. Plus, I don't know if you guys saw the Fidelity report, but the Fidelity report said I think that Bitcoin should be $150 million per coin by 2035 or something. This is Fidelity. Fidelity is one of the largest asset managers on the planet, and they
generally pretty conservative.
And they tell you that Bitcoin's going to be $150 million per coin by 2035, which means that technically, if you just take half the time, and maybe it should be half the amount, more or less. If you just kind of say that Bitcoin has progressively been linear growing at a rate of 200% per year on average, well, there we go. Then this is what it's going to be. So I just. The only way I can imagine a massive drop off is if we had a huge black swan event in the entire global economy where everything just collapsed at once, and this would have to be planned by central banks and by the Fed and stuff like that, where they're saying we are in too much debt, people are bitching, let's just wipe the slate clean, let the markets crash. But don't worry, guys, we got central bank digital dollar on blockchain. And blockchain is going to fix the world. And we're going to get the central bank dollar. This is the only thing I think might crash the markets for a bit of time. But with the $1.2 trillion infrastructure bill, which means and this adoption, I think I have a different opinion from almost everybody. Everybody's talking about longer market cycles. In my opinion, we're going to have shorter market cycles. 2021 was a perfect example. Bull run, bear market, bull run. We saw that already this year, 3 cycles in 1 year. I feel like this is going to be the new normal for us. It's going to be like heating up, boom, cool off. People are going to little surf. We're going to flatline, consolidate, boom, come up again, because people just have too much FOMO now in the world. They just can't miss out on an opportunity to get Bitcoin cheap when every day in their ear, they're hearing $150 million Bitcoin, $1 million Bitcoin, $10 million Bitcoin. Like, after you hear that a few times, you're like, F it. I'm just going to throw down 1 to 5% of my portfolio in Bitcoin. And then altcoins will follow, right? Bitcoin starts pumping 10% a day. Altcoins are pumping 50% a day. And same thing with blue chip NFTs. Like, can you guys tell me, what do you consider a blue chip NFT right now? What do you consider almost a blue chip NFT right now? And what classifies breaking that almost to that solidified spot?
It's a very controversial take. There's a lot of subjective decisions at play, but obviously the apes, cool cats, I think World of Women are up there. Pudgy penguins, that's a controversial one, but I think they got it. I think the Doge Pound is gunning for it. They have a lot of innovation there. There's just some on the cusp. Doodles are the newest breakout star. I think I think they're destined to be a blue chip. And yesterday really shows they just minted at the wrong time, but once the market came back, they popped. So that's probably one of my most exciting ones.
Yeah, I'm quite fond of doodles myself. It's nice.
I'm in a class.
I have no idea. Oh my God, I've been at a conference in Dubai for this October, and I have no idea what's going on. I need to catch up. Amazing. So what classifies that differentiator between nearly a blue chip to a blue chip?
I think you really just see it in their approach, like their quality of art, their like how they release the rollout strategy. Like they just have big plans, and then people just are fond of it, and just naturally it seems like. So I don't know, there's multiple different ways to do it. Almost everyone had a different route, but it becomes pretty clear pretty quickly that these brands are like not going anywhere in the future. So that's kind of my take on it.
Yeah.
I kind of agree with you. The truth is that the part that I maybe disagree is that I don't think it has to do much with art. Actually, I think I think it's a club. It's a list that you belong to. That's the way I feel it. Although we kind of trick ourselves thinking, well, this art is cool and the art is important. It's great. Don't misunderstand me. But what I'm saying is that being one of the punks, it's a status thing. You are in that club. You're in that list, And same goes with the apes. And figuring out who, because right now the supply of NFTs, the collections, is infinite, right? I mean, every artist in the world, it's the way he can make it, right? So we're facing a tsunami of art entering the space. It's going to be very hard to see who are those blue chips. I think it will. I mean, it's hard to see which ones they're not. That's easy. But then you're left with many that look great, just like ICOs. You remember, guys? I mean, there were many projects, and now if you look back, many of the websites they don't even exist. Like 90% they fail, and I think of course there is no space for infinite popular NFTs. There will be just some, and I think the punks, they've made it. I think the apes, they've made it. And many others are playing there, but I think those two they're going to be there pretty much forever. That's the way I feel it. It's just an opinion. I don't know.
I think that's going to be an interesting battle, the punks versus the apes, because the apes have an infinite budget now to do a lot of cool things. They've already proven they've have the capabilities to do so. So we'll see if that's like that utility really drives the price over the punks or not.
What happened, Brett? Why did they end this budget down?
Well, they've had one. I mean, over $96 million in royalties, right? So, I mean, NFT NYC, they had the yacht party. Every single one of their events was levels above. So I think they're going to continue to keep that trend going.
Max, Helena, I'm going to bring you guys back in 5 minutes. I'm just going to bring out the guys from Polytrade, have them just tell us about their project real quick, and we'll bring you back in just a sec here. Piyush, what's up, brother?
Oh,
You're muted, man. You're muted.
Hey, are you guys able to hear me?
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
hear you,
Hashoshi.
Arul. Piyush, you're on mute.
You're on mute.
Hashoshi, maybe you want to just give everyone watching
Hey,
a little bit
sorry.
of background on why you're bullish on Polytrade.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Polytrade just fundamentally, and for folks that don't know, I made an explainer video, very tech focused, very fundamentals focused recently about Polytrade. When I first heard about it, coming from a space where I learned a little bit about trade finance through my reading, this project just really interested me in the creative way that it's bringing, a critical service to small and medium-sized businesses that are in need of funding into the world of DeFi, basically. So it's bringing this trade finance process of receivables financing into the world of DeFi, where folks like you and me could earn yield and contributing liquidity that helps get these small and medium-sized enterprises the money that they need on time to grow.
Definitely, Hashoshi. So, Kyle, most of the times we hear that our project is very boring, because we talk about the real world things and all that. But interestingly enough, we are moving on to Metaverse now. And Arul has beautifully presented what Polytrade Meta means really. Arul, I would let you describe that.
Sure. So I'll probably start with the disclaimer that I'm not smoked up or I'm not drunk, right? So some of the ideas that probably I'm going to say are way off there in the future. But the way that I see... Sorry?
I just say like smoked up, drunk, or maybe on Brett's magic mushrooms from his NFT.
Not on that. So basically, the way that I see the whole metaverse concept as such, right? So it's as early as probably the early 90s of internet, right? So I mean, just a couple of days back, I was seeing a video of news interview of couple of people discussing as to what internet is, and they're like making fun of, I need to put a @ symbol. What is an A with a circle around it, right? And you use it for emails. Why can't I just call them or something of that sort, right? So currently, what we think of metaverse is very limited to what we currently see in front of us, right? And the potential of it is much more. Now, just kind of moving on to another section of a video that I recently saw of Balaji talking on one of the blockchain conferences, right? He was talking something about how identities of individuals is going to move in metaverse, right? He says that, there are different degrees of identity where one is a identified person, which basically means that, I'm a doxed person. I have a KYC verified person on one extreme. And on the other side, you have someone like a completely anonymous person, right? You don't even know. Now, in the metaverse, we're going to have something called as a pseudonymous, right? Where you have degrees of identity. A good example that everyone knows is probably Plan B, right? Everyone knows Plan B. We know him as a pseudonymous character. We know he probably is in Netherlands, but no one knows who he is, right? But he still carries credibility based on his identity. So what I'm trying to bring that here is that as we progress towards metaverse, these pseudonymous identities are going to come more and more, wherein you will be transacting with a person without even knowing who that person is, right? Today, it happens in crypto as individuals. Tomorrow, it is going to happen with, say, an awesome NFT creator if he wants to stay pseudonymous, but assume that, Sotheby's wants to get a series done by them, and he doesn't want to become a doxed person or a KYC person, right? So what we're going to see is that gradually, even business transactions are going to be ideated, procured in terms of who is going to create it. They're going to be delivered and paid all on the metaverse on chain, right? Which basically means that Sotheby's could recruit a designer probably sitting in Namibia, not even knowing where that individual is, because all that matters is the quality of the art as such, right? And we see that is how digital goods and services are going to move. Today, if Nike has a banner in Decentraland, I'm sure they've made a payment to someone, right? And that payment probably follows the old world guidelines of how a procurement might be. There's a purchase manager who approved an invoice. But in future, that's not how it's going to be. No one is going to know who is servicing, who is actually creating it and delivering it, right? So we're trying to build it into two extremes. We are seeing, trade moving into two extremes. In the metaverse, everything is going to be on-chain, but pseudonymous. in the real world, everything is KYC'd. Only 0.1% of it is on chain, right? So while our goal is to be 100% on chain, obviously coming from the decentralization angle that we're trying to work on, but the path to that is not an immediate switch, right? So we're going to start on both extremes. On one extreme in the real world, because we already have experience of financing more than about $500 million worth of invoice. We've been doing this business for about 7 years. So we're bringing in the entire trade finance angle. From an advisory perspective, we really have a lot of support being received from Polygon as such, with Sandeep being on an advisory panel, and he's guiding us in terms of how to navigate in this ecosystem. So, and at the same time, we are trying to talk on the other side completely on-chain model. And we again, Polygon being one of the key partners, they've kind of agreed to come on board as the first customer for our.
Guys, Hashoshi's got to bounce out. So thanks, Hashoshi, for coming on, man. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Hashoshi.
Always.
Thanks so much.
Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Yeah, man. Nice to
Thank
meet you.
you.
Have a good one.
Thank you.
Guys,
Hey,
you gotta,
so Arul,
sum it up.
I will sum it up here, Arul, if you don't mind. So,
Sure.
Kyle, going on Metaverse, our first client is Polygon, who has thousands of invoices received every month on chain, where they make payments in crypto. They are going to come and use Polytrade Meta to
nice.
enhance their experience in accounting, so that all the invoices which are coming from vendors, these vendors will be KYCs and KYBs by Polytrade. All the invoices will be submitted on Polytrade. We will settle the invoices to vendors on approval of Polygon, and finally Polygon settles it on the due date. Right now, just imagine the impact of it when Polygon, as a big company, comes on board. Tomorrow, Solana and any big chain company will become our customer. Right.
Amazing.
So real world has a lot of nuisances attached to it, but in crypto, you have no fiat conversions. Right. On chain invoices immediately approved by the buyer, immediately settled by Polytrade. We see it's a huge opportunity. It's a low hanging fruit, and we are going to cash it very soon.
Pioneers in this space. Thank you guys so much for coming on, and we really appreciate the contribution to the charity event and the giveaway that we're doing on this channel.
Thanks,
Thank you
Kyle.
guys so much, and the best of luck to you. I'm still holding my tokens, and I don't plan on selling anytime soon. Let's rock and roll. See you guys. Thanks so much.
Thanks,
for coming
Kyle.
on.
Take care, guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That's interesting. I think that's really important because, I mean, Satoshi kind of ingrained that into decentralized culture. So I think that's one of the most important approaches of a trading company out there.
It definitely reminds me of something that we're doing at Paid Network. We're creating, a paid, we're creating, well, actually, so we're
leaking stuff.
Yeah.
So that announcement.
I think it's no secret that we've been building a layer one, but the application that we're building, that we had to build layer one to build it, is really this business network of a way to enter into a business deal with somebody, create some type of agreement with them that's not necessarily a legal agreement, but an agreement that makes sense, that says, yes, we're doing this and this and this, but in layman's terms. And then we have escrow, a dispute resolution, a quick and cheap one, unlike expensive core systems, for example. But what Polytrade was talking about was exactly what we're talking about in Paid. If you're going to build a website for me, or make some animation, or make some NFT art for me, I don't care who you are, what you look like, or how old you are, right? Or where in the world you are. I just care about the person that's attached to the profile I'm looking at your work on, and those reviews that are left on your profile are you. So we have to look at digital identity. And so there's a lot of people working on digital identity. But in my opinion, I've been thinking about this for a long time. We need to have digital identity that's tied to biometrics, and that can still be done in a decentralized way, where there's no centralized storage, because you have to be able to tie a wallet to a human being, right? So I have to be able to do a thumbprint or an eye scan that's attached to my wallet that can say that this person is the person that owns this wallet, and therefore they own this profile. Because if I go and screw some people over, and then I could theoretically, if it's just my wallet,
make a new identity,
new accounts, And so I want, Paid Network. We want to create digital identities that tie people to their business profile indefinitely for the future moving forward. So if you say you're going to do something, you're held accountable. If you say you're going to deliver, you're held accountable. In the crypto space, all the time, we have people who come on as advisors who don't actually do anything, and it's like, man, I just spent a lot of money on you and you haven't done anything for me. And that's horrible. You promised to deliver me all this stuff and you haven't done that. right now there's no way to hold people accountable or
Yeah.
even have like a review system for people doing business. It doesn't even exist.
It's prevalent more than ever. So if there's a way to use, like you said, the biometric way to monitor, this is one person and they can only have one wallet that's verified, and there's some hoop to step through, but still maintain an anonymity. Like that is the key.
I
And
think
we'll all be using avatars or our CryptoPunks or our apes or our mushrooms, whatever we want as our profile pic or as our avatar as we enter into the metaverse and go into there. So this is exactly where we're going. And I think, really this whole thing with Zuckerberg and making his presentation, was opening the eyes of the world of like, this is going to happen sooner than you think it's going to happen, right? It might not be ultra 99.99% realistic at first, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Maybe it's 15 years from now where it's there's all kinds of sensors on you and, this Ready Player One kind of experience. But yeah, let's jump back into it. So, what about?
Can I say something, Kyle? Because it's super interesting what you're the point that you're raising here. I think that it is ultra necessary to tie some sort of incentives into work relationships. Like you said, for example, I pay you to do a website. If you screw me, how do we approach that? And I think that I don't know if the biometric part is that necessary actually, because you can still be screwed by even a real person. To me, my favorite like the things that, for example, reputation. Those are things that you cannot trick. If you've been like someone professional and delivering well for 5 years, your reputation has a value. Imagine you've done 2,000 jobs. You are like, if you go to local bitcoins, that's how it works. You can see like someone has done 2,000 transactions, all 100% well rated. That's, I guess, one of the, like, I'd rather do a trade with that person rather with someone who has biometrics but has no reputation. And I think reputation online through NFTs, through tokenization, through blockchain somehow, just like you're doing with paid network. It's probably going to be a very good approach, in my opinion.
I think reputation is the most important part, and you can have reputation being anonymous, but if you're anonymous and ruin that reputation, you can just restart from zero without any repercussions, even though you're still that person. And so it's not, if you're a clever person, it wouldn't be too hard to build up a reputation again. And so I think the biometric side has something that's worth looking into, just because it would truly prove one of one. Yes, you can validate every transaction was a like 90% or 100%, but ultimately there's no way around it without actually identifying the person behind those anonymous avatars.
Yeah, and the nice thing about blockchain, like with local bitcoins, but again, that's, in my opinion, it's missing that one aspect of tying an actual physical person to their wallet or to their identity or whatever. But the nice thing about what I'm talking about, like a paid marketplace for what we're doing versus something like Fiverr or something is Fiverr. There's so many fake reviews and you can't really tell, who's real and who's not. In something like I'm proposing, we're talking about actually seeing value transacted between the parties for the work that's been done. And we can track where that value goes because it's on chain. So if we see a payment sent to somebody and then sent back to their person, that's a red flag, right? And the coolest thing about what we've been thinking about in paid network is if somebody tries to game the system and they're caught and they're called out for it and the community votes that this person was trying to game the system, guess what? You're flagged, and the opportunity cost of trying to game a system that could potentially be the reputation system for all business done in the world on a global scale is just too large. You screw with your reputation by trying to game it and you get caught, nobody's going to do business with you ever again, or it'll be very hard for you to repair that reputation. So that opportunity cost of trying to be a bad actor is so high that I don't see a lot of people doing it. It will really ruin you. It's going to be a system where we really hold each other accountable for doing what we say that we're going to do. And those who are honorable and do good work are going to be rewarded for it. So that was something interesting that Polytrade mentioned and just led me to think about something that we're building and working on. And it's very, very, very exciting. Max, do you have any opinions about that?
No, well, just from what you said, I would like to respond to that because what you described is the same as proof of work. Actually, if you try to cheat the system in Bitcoin, you lose hundreds of US dollars in electricity. If you do it with proof of stake, you lose your coin. If you do it in pay network, you lose your reputation, which has a value. You know, the opportunity cost. What's the name? Is it like proof of reputation, or do you have?
Well, it's built on Polkadot, so we share consensus with it's called actually Grandpa, and I think other ones, I forget the other one, but Bab or something like that. But it's basically that it's shared consensus with. But we should call something a proof of reputation as far as like slashing of there's gonna be other things that we thought about too for staking, for things like an appeal. If you go through arbitration with somebody because you have a dispute and you disagree with the way that the arbitrators called the decision, you can appeal it. But first, you'd have to stake tokens to appeal. So if you're full of crap and you're just trying to appeal to waste people's time, and the same decision comes down, you're gonna lose your tokens. So Max, Helena, we know that you guys are brilliant when it comes to clever naming things because of the Cryptoland video. We all know that you got that skills. We will call your creative help when it's time to build that stuff. I want to switch. We have 15 minutes left, and I want to get into some gaming stuff because I think that like we've seen NFTs go absolutely crazy on mainstream for bringing people for no coiners to have coin. It's an NFT, not a fungible token, but they're actually going out and buying NFTs, and usually, well, they actually have to buy Ethereum first before you get one of these, mostly, or some other coin. But nonetheless, it's bringing people into the crypto space on a massive scale. But so is gaming, and so will gaming, right? So far, I think we've got some games with hundreds of thousands of users, but I think Acti has reached that 1 million user mark. And but we have incredible AAA games, that have tens of millions of players in the traditional space that are now being built in the crypto space. And this is very exciting because an idea like DeFi to a lot of traditional people is too good to be true. 30% by holding your stablecoin in a savings account, like that doesn't make sense to a lot of people. They just don't even believe it's real. Everyone thinks it's a Ponzi or something like that. But what everyone can get behind is just playing a game, because everyone's been doing it forever, right? I was playing games from the time Nintendo came out to the time I was after high school, and now you have and now gaming is taking off more than ever, where it's the esports industry is actually bigger than professional sports, like the old traditional sports where people were running around physically, running out of breath, and beating each other up on a field. This is actually insane what's going on right now. So, I just wanted to give you guys an example of how insane things are going right now. And look at this trailer. I don't think we're going to play the whole 3 minutes, but maybe play a minute or something out of it. But look at this Illuvium trailer that recently came out.
Oh.
Epic, right?
Dude, that's the future right there. Talking to Kieran, that's the most exciting thing in the world. Knowing there's a capable team behind it, that gameplay. I want to see gameplay though. That's what I'm waiting for. But that gets me excited.
Me too. That is Unreal Engine, with high fidelity, and mind blowing. Like how much it must have cost. But when it comes down to adoption, marketing is one of the most important things. And so that video probably cost somewhere around $1 million to make. Yeah. And
or more, guys, or more, like
or more.
Super expensive. Yeah.
What did you get quoted for because the video that Max and Helena made, they learned how to do the 3D animation themselves, and really did that entire video. And originally it was 16 minutes long. When they first sent me the video like 7 months ago, it was 16 minutes long, and they had to condense it down to 10 minutes to make sure it's on Twitter, and then add some NFT stuff to it. So what was the cost per second of a high quality animation?
Well, the first thing, okay, so the idea came from an amazing 3D video that I saw, which was like Disney type of production. And I contacted it was a New York studio, like top level 3D studio. and they gave me and I think I still have the email somewhere.
120K
Per minute. Per minute. And so it was like
120K per minute.
$120,000
per minute.
Yeah.
Well, that was only 3 minutes long, so that wouldn't be. I think it's more than that, Max.
100,000. Yeah, sorry,
Yeah.
100,000. Yeah. 120.000. And that's then I started working with some other people, because the thing is, if you pick people individually, you can get it cheaper, of course. If you can get someone who does the skin or who does the environment, you can cut costs, because we've been directing, scripting it, and so those are costs that we lowered, and we ended up doing hours for around 300. No, a little bit less, actually, around $200,000 our video, if I remember correctly. But if like the normal prices for these things are in the multi-million dollars. The other studio that gave me a price was $155,000 per minute. So
Yeah,
it's very expensive.
We've been looking for. We've been getting some quotes recently from like Hollywood studios, and another one from another studio for, I think, where it was proposed. We got one for 1 minute, one for it was 2 minutes, and it was $600,000 from both of them, more or less. So that's yes.
It all comes with about quality, Kyle. I'm sure people can tell you I can do it for 10 grand, but you're gonna see the difference when they speak. The characters, you will see that the mouth doesn't almost move, or they will be stopped for like 2 seconds, and then they just move their hand. So like if you really want to have something that is high quality, it's still very expensive. I'm sure like the costs are going to go dramatically down in the upcoming years, because this is just a technology thing, so it will be way cheaper in the future. Maybe at one point it will be almost virtually free, but as of today, it's still expensive.
So you guys, right now, for anyone watching this who's looking for some alpha, like crypto gaming is super hot. Everything's been on fire. But would I ape into Illuvium right now at a $6 or $7 billion fully diluted valuation? Probably not. Depends on when gameplay comes. It's hard, to justify, like, but if it comes down like maybe 50% correction or something like that, definitely, because I think there's upside to go, but I don't know if there's a 10x to go from here in the immediate short term. I think if there's adoption, there's a lot more than that to go. But we will have to see. But some of the ones that are coming up, that are really exciting for me, I haven't been this excited about a game really since Star Atlas. There's another project called Sidus Heroes, and you can actually go mint their NFTs, or actually collect their NFTs on OpenSea right now. But this is a Star Atlas-like game that has been building their game for 3.5 years. I know Elio Trades has talked about it. Alex Becker has talked about it. We're invested into it. I've been supporting them. It's really an open world type of environment with NFTs. They have a different theory on the game mechanics and things like that than Star Atlas, for example, but super high quality. They're releasing a game trailer at the end of this month. And I'm telling you this because it could be another opportunity for you guys to get in on a Star Atlas like an opportunity before it skyrockets. And I just think that the fact that there's over 200 developers on this game, you can already go to the website, play a demo of it, kind of see what the graphics are going to look like. It's actually built in WebGL and HTML5, meaning that it adapts to any type of environment that you're creating. So if your graphics card, so like on Star Atlas, for example, if we were actually to play something that looks somewhat like the game trailer, you would have to have insane graphics processing, like insane machines that probably don't even exist yet. But to play something that was built on WebGL and HTML5, you could actually play Sidus on a mobile device. And sure, it's going to scale down the graphics to something much less desirable than you would get on a high-end machine. But it's playable, and it's not going to be lagging, and it's going to adapt to your device. That's pretty freaking incredible, because now people in the Philippines can play on a $20 smartphone, or people on a huge gaming rig that want the best of the best graphics can scale up and play something that's got Unreal Engine 5 types of graphics. So it's really incredible what they're doing. Yeah, it's Sidus. I've been talking to the team almost every single day. And just listen. And when I first saw, like, there's a lot of BS, guys, a lot of out there. Yeah, there's so much coming out. It just so much. And if you watch Elio's channel, you might have seen this video where he goes into the Unreal Engine marketplace and talks about like how people are using these environments for $50 that they buy and going through and pretending that's
Make a
gameplay,
trailer.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, like Brett, what do you think about these things? Because last thing I want to say before I hand it off to you is this: the detail that the scientists guys have gone into in in-game economics and like just the insane kind of work that has already been done on it is really impressive. But what are your thoughts on these kind of games?
Yeah, I've never heard of Citus, so thank you for putting me on. I didn't know they had a 200-person team. That's incredible to me. My take on it is I'm so interested to see the blend of when we hit mainstream adoption to these early on decentralized like gaming projects launch. Like, what is going to be harder or more effective to go to the public? Is Grand Theft Auto going to implement blockchain technology into their games first, and that's just going to take the mainstream? Because I think it's much harder to make a game the level of quality that Grand Theft Auto is than it would be for a team to start completely from scratch with play to earn from the start. So it's going to be this like right in the middle, who's going to win. And then I think that just comes down to consumers demanding blockchain and finally be able to own their assets, because gaming companies for too long have been able to get away with keeping everything in their ecosystem and never giving that money back out. So it's really interesting to see which one will win.
Yeah, I thought about this quite a lot, and it's like these games that are AAA that are the mainstream ones, the Grand Theft Autos, the Counter Strikes, the Fortnites. They're making so much money every year, and all the players can never take anything with them. That's once they know it's possible to do that, they're going to demand that happens.
It's on us to like demand it, literally force it to happen, because why would they not? Why would they give that up unless it's they have a fiduciary duty to their shareholders? So it's on, like, they're liable to it. So until we make it happen, they're going to keep getting away with it.
Yeah, I agree. I've been thinking about this, and it's like I think that what's going to happen is you're going to have it's going to because like you said, it would take so much effort to take a game that already exists and make it backward compatible with things like NFTs to where it truly feels native. I mean, you could probably throw in something on top of it, like almost like a second layer or a skin or something, but it's not going to feel native, right? Like when you listen to Michael talk about Star Atlas, that's a natively built blockchain NFT game where every freaking thing in there, every panel of a starship, the people, and a gun on the people, like this, it's actually, the vision is actually mind blowing, and I would be amazed if they get it to that point in 7 years, but because it's absolutely insane what they're building. But yeah, guys, Max and Helena, like, let's give away. How are we going to give away 5 whitelist spots or something like that? What do we do? You're muted. Muted again. Still muted. You're still talking. You're muted.
Oh, okay, sorry. How about the first ones who drop their Ethereum address on the chat get 5 spots? What about that?
Well, that's easy. Go. And
you have to like
the
too.
video and subscribe.
Yeah,
yes, thanks, Brett. Like the video and subscribe as well, and make sure that you go follow Cryptoland at their Twitter. Boom. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. It's already done. Let's give 10. Give 10 away.
Do it.
Tonight, we're doing every one of my lists. Let's go.
I was hyped up.
Okay, let's do 10. That's fine.
Okay, cool. I just want to see these things. I just want to see all 10K minted and people trade these on the secondary market, because I cannot wait to sweep the floor.
Yeah.
It's like I got mad FOMO. I only minted my one, and I bought that key crypto. I only have one that I minted, and I was like, I really want other ones, but no one's selling them. So like, but anyway, one more time, Mike, throw on the screen, flash the Galactic Fight League images up, guys. My friend Sean is starting this project. Go follow him. It's epic art. This guy just does, it's sick art. There's a whole storyline behind it on their Twitter. You can actually see the trailer that's coming. It's going to be an actual fighting league, like MMA style, but get these guys. So the thing is, if you're just tuning in, you have to give these guys names. He's going to go through the comments and pick his favorite 5, and then actually go whitelist you guys on his project as well. So here's 2, just write hat or red hair and give them a name. Sean will whitelist his 5 favorite winners. Guys, is there anything else that you would like to talk about before we head out?
I think we covered a lot of the boxes of what my head's at right now. It's just interesting to see what crypto is going to do the next day. We're kind of at is this a correction and it's healthy, or is this the next bear market? But I think we're set for 7K minimum for Ethereum by the end of this cycle.
Now, on our end, we just want to, let everyone know that if they want to come to our Discord and join us, there are like many other ways to get whitelisted. Every day we come up with different activities. So, we're doing something super exciting, Kyle, with Cryptoland. So I welcome everyone to have a look at what we're doing, because it's going to be amazing. Seriously.
Yeah, everyone should watch the video to get a glimpse of what Cryptoland will
And
be.
I don't know if we said it at all during this live stream, but if you guys aren't aware, Cryptoland is more than just an NFT mint. It's actually a physical island in Fiji that is going to be acquired. And this, what you're looking at, obviously it's a little bit animated, but they're actually going to build an entire crypto resort and 60 private parcels that are being sold with the unique one-of-one ultra rare NFTs that you just go buy the NFT on the website. It actually comes with a parcel of land attached to it where you can then build your dream villa. Or they can build it for you, or get someone to get you, whatever. It's going to be insane. And if someone came to me with this idea and just threw out there, Kyle, I want to build. Everybody says that we should have a crypto island. Everybody, like I've heard 500 people of my crypto career say that this should happen, and it's finally happening. But if they just came to me with this idea and said, if they didn't have the video, if they didn't have the architectural plans, if they didn't have the purchase agreement already done for the island, if they didn't have the master plan for the government of Fiji already signed off, if they didn't have the environmental impact studies already done, if they hadn't spent $500,000 of their own money getting all this stuff done already and ready to go as soon as this thing is, as soon as they raise the money needed to do it, then I wouldn't have been interested, right? But they've already done all this work for the past 2.5 years to go, and it's a real deal. This is going to happen because, as we've seen, your Discord tripled in the last 2 days. This is viral. This is going to go viral. So you guys heard it here first. Thank you, everybody, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning. I really appreciate all of you guys. Make sure you like, subscribe, go follow Brett, go follow Max and Helena, Cryptoland, go follow Hashoshi. I thank you guys so much. We'll see you later, and welcome back to Crypto Connoisseurs. Cheers.
Thank you.
Kyle.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye, Brett.
Have a good one,
Bye-bye.
guys.